What's up, YouTube? Today, we are doing tier lists on stream. I probably did this like 3 months ago because I'm so bad at getting content out and it's probably not relevant anymore. But, take a sip of coffee. Today, I'm finally giving my thoughts on the new Gimr Flickshot tech, the Slingshot tech in Ultimate. First of all, who am I? Why the fuck should you keep watching this video? I am a Houston-based Smash Bros. Player. I'm not amazing at the game, you know, I'm not, Trella is probably like the best guy to come out of Houston. I started playing competitive Smash when, Smash Ultimate came out. I kind of got good at the game during Smash 4, but didn't go to any tournaments because it was at the end of the game's life. Smash Ultimate came out, and I was like, yeah, this is my game. I started getting good at it. I went to a few locals. I've done pretty well. I've played some really good Houston players. I played El Yoshi, took a couple stocks off of El Yoshi at the first major I went to. He was my fucking first round in pools, and he's like a top 5 Houston player, depending on who you ask. So, or at least he was at the time. Anyway, so I'm decent at the game, and I've only gotten better since then. Pandemic happened, and I didn't go to a single tournament. I really want to go back to tournaments to kind of prove that I'm decent at this game. That's who I am. So basically, I'm a low-tier Smash Bros. Competitive player. I'm not great at the game, but I'm better than your cousin that shits on you every time. So, we're going to get into the tier list. I have spent the last several days... 10 plus hours total going through every single character in this game, and I know 10 plus hours is probably is not enough. This is not a comprehensive experiment, all right? 10 hours is not enough time to have fully discovered anything, but I've gone through and spent at least 20 to 30 minutes on each character, more on a lot of them, less on only a couple. I went through on the last few days of my stream. I spent easily 10 hours, probably more, trying to lab out on every single character, seeing what options they have, how it changes their gameplay. And now I'm going to go through and give my initial thoughts on who I think utilizes this the most or the best, and who I think it doesn't really matter on. There's also a few characters that I think... It's kind of 50-50, just off my initial, like, labbing. There's a few characters, and this is why we have the pros please show results tier. There's a few characters that it seems like it might be really good on, but I personally couldn't find anything that it, like, changed. And so I'm like, it might be good, there might be something there, and maybe I'm just not good enough at the character to figure it out. Because there's a few characters in this game that I just straight up don't really play. I'm going to be straight up. I'm just going to start this off with Bayonetta, because I did not touch Bayonetta. I don't even... This is the one character that if me and my brother are playing randoms, I will just quit out. Because I don't play this character. I don't even understand how to play this character. Every other character in this game, I can play at least at a casual level. Like, I can play... my like brother-in-law and his brother and his friends, because they're all like gamers, they're all decent at video games in general. Some of them are better than me at other games, like they're all better than me at first-person shooters. I can't play first-person shooters. I'm really bad at them. So like they're all gamers. I can pick any character in the game and shit on them except Bayonetta. Bayonetta is the one character I cannot play. Now we're gonna go in order. So I did, just to break the fourth wall, I did a whole Google Doc writing down my thoughts on every single character. And even since doing this Google Doc, my thoughts on a couple of these have changed, because I have talked to some people around the scene. Now, before I actually get into this, I do want to put a disclaimer. This is not a tier list, okay? In the sense of rating every single character in the game. I am not... trying to make a tier list. I'm not trying to say like how does this change the overall meta. I am simply looking at every character in a vacuum and saying who I think the Flickshot tech or the Slingshot tech, because I did try all the variations on every character, who I think uses it the best, who I think it's kind of meh, and who I think it doesn't do anything for. That's all. We're not trying to say how it changes the meta, because this hasn't even been out for a week, okay, at the time of recording this. So it's impossible to say how it changes the overall meta. I have theories, which I will get into at the end of the video, but it's impossible to say. So we are only looking at characters in a vacuum, okay? So, Mario, I think this is awesome on Mario. Mario's movement is just nice. And he can now mix you up with any grab. If he grabs you, you don't know what way he's going to throw you, because he can follow up every single throw now. It used to be like low percent, he's going to down throw you and combo you to 50. And then high percent, he's going to back throw you off stage and then try to gimp you. Like, that was the flow chart for Mario. Or up throw, and then maybe, like, if it's a platform stage, up air, up B, right? Now, like, he can actually follow up a forward throw, because his burst of movement sideways is so fast, he can forward throw back air you, and if you don't tech the forward throw, you just get hit by the back air. And even then, he could flick shot towards you, you tech in, and now he can F smash you, right? So there's some really interesting follow-ups that he has now with this flick shot tech. Also, he can wave bounce fireball, and I think you'll see a trend in my tier list here. I think this tech is better on characters with wave bounce tech and characters with multiple jumps, because they just have more options than the rest of the cast, and so you'll see a trend. In general, I think it's better on those characters. Moving forward, DK. Okay, my thoughts that I wrote down, I didn't think it's really that good. Like, I was going to put it here. I was like, he has some okay movement, but I don't see any real uses for it. But I was hanging out in a Tilde stream, and a top-level DK player was in chat talking to us about it, because it was a pretty, like, chill night. There weren't very many active chatters, and he was saying he thinks it's awesome. He was saying there's a lot more shield pressure. It doesn't change his neutral game that much, which is why I was gonna put it here. It doesn't change his neutral. His game plan in neutral is the same, and so I was right on that. But his shield pressure game has gone up exponentially, apparently, because now back air, you can, like, F-tilt shield, which was already safe, but you can F-tilt someone's shield, like, twice, and if they still don't unshield, you can get a hold shot giant punch, and if they don't let go of shield, it just breaks. So I'm going to put it here. I'm going to listen to the people that are better than me at the character, and I'm going to put it here. I'm so down to be wrong, because my initial thought was that, like, he has okay movement. Like, it changes his movement a little bit, but I don't think it changes his neutral, and I think that's important. There's one thing you have to remember, chat, is with this tech, every single character in the game got a buff, right? Just straight up. Every single character has another movement option now, so everybody got better. So, which is why I don't think the overall tier list of the meta is going to change all that much. There's a couple characters that I think skyrocket, but I'll get to that later. Link, I think this is a complete upgrade to Link, because he has so many options when he's jumping at you. Previously, if a Link was jumping at you, it would just kind of be like Nair or Fair or a Tomahawk, or maybe he, like, boomerangs, right? And if he really wants to mix you up, he bomb pulls, and you're like, what the fuck? He did that? Okay, like, I should have punished that. Damn it, you know? But now he can flick shot towards you, wave bounce arrow, which I think this actually gives him arrow play. His arrow used to not be great because it's kind of laggy and punishable, but now, because he can flick shot at you and then wave bounce an arrow, that's an option. I think it's a decent one. So there's that. He can also still nair. He can back air. And by the way, if he gets single hit back air, like landing, if he lands with a single hit back air and it hits you, he can combo you to like 60. I labbed out some nasty combos on Link. I used to main Link. He was the characters that I mained when the game dropped were Link and Yoshi. and then I moved on to Ike, and Ike's the one I went to tournaments with. Now I'm maining Pokemon Trainer, just to give everyone a little, you know, a little insight. So I labbed out some stuff with Link, and I still have some pocket links because Legend of Zelda is my favorite franchise of all time. I'm going to know how to play all 3 of those characters, always, because I love them. I've got some pocket links. Anyway, he's got some schmixes. Link's got some schmixes. I think it's nasty. Okay. Samus, Dark Samus. I'm going to put Dark Samus on it because this is a dope icon. I'm going to put this one here. I think it changes some stuff. I think Samus has really, really sick movement with this now, but I don't know what it actually changes in their game. Like, I can't tell. Like, yeah, they've got some sick movement, and they can get a huge burst of speed, but I don't really know if it changes their game all that much. You know what I mean? There's gonna be some nasty, like, wave bounce charge shot shenanigans. We're gonna see some Twitter clips. But at the top level, you know, in competitive play, I don't know how much it actually changes their game. So I'm gonna put this one here. I'm not comfortable giving a solid answer yet. Because I just don't know. There's not much. Kirby, I was so hopeful. Kirby's the first character that I booted up and labbed this with. I was like, oh, maybe Kirby's good now. It's not. It doesn't change a damn thing. It doesn't change a goddamn thing about Kirby. It's just... He's just too slow. If his airspeed was higher, if he had the same airspeed as Puff, he'd be up here. It'd be busted. But it just doesn't. It changes. It doesn't change a single thing about Kirby. It just doesn't. Yoshi, I'm putting solid buff. I'm gonna put it here. Yoshi has some interesting play now. He can wave bounce egg, which is nice. So he can like flick shot at you, wave bounce egg to play defensive. He can generally, he can just pressure you and like hold shot away and then come back in with a fair or a nair or, you know, whatever he wants. He also, fun fact, similar to Link, if he gets a landing bear on you and cancels it, he can then use the up smash tech that Gimr talks about, where you can get a much faster like pivot up smash with this tech. He can get landing bear into pivot up smash and it kills at 100 on almost the whole cast. Not the heavies. That's why I say almost the whole cast. But it kills them at like 115. So that's cool. And like, yeah, he had that before, but before he didn't have a fast way of approaching and getting a landing back air, so it was super reactable. Now, I don't know. Now, maybe you're going to get caught out with it one time. Just saying. That can happen. Fox, I need to see Light play this character. I don't think I'm good enough at the game, or specifically at Fox, to utilize this. Because I want to put him here. In fact, I'll put him here. I don't think it changes much unless you full hop it. That's the thing. The hold shot, like, shield pressure is really good. Actually, I don't even know about that, because the thing is, Fox falls so fast that, like, if you flick shot, like, if you do a full shot at someone, you can't get bear out unless you commit to hitting the button really early. And Wolf and Falco have the same problem. All the Spaceys have that same problem. You have to commit to hitting the button really early. You can, like, wave bounce laser. I believe. I don't think I'm crazy about that. Yeah, you can wave bounce laser, which is nice. That's a nice little mix. but overall, I don't know that it changes much about their gameplay. The only thing that I saw from Tilde was that you can flick shot full hop and cover high recoveries way faster now, which is nice, but I think also the entire cast has that. And so, like, in a vacuum, I don't think it gives Fox anything really special, but I'm so down to be wrong about that. We'll see what Light does with this character. Pikachu, I'm going to put solid buff. Obviously, like, I think Pikachu's broken. I'm on the Esan train. I think this character is like top 2, top 3 in the game. And flick shot into wave bounce T-Jolt is sick. Esam actually tweeted about it yesterday after I finished labbing all the characters. He tweeted out, okay, flick shot T-Jolt kind of nice. Like, yeah, anybody that can that has like something they can wave bounce immediately makes this tech better than it is on the rest of the cast. As you can see, 4 of the top 5 on my sheet already have that. The only reason DK is up here is a top level DK told me to put him up here. So I think it's really good on Pikachu. The thing is, I don't think it's as good as it is on these guys. Because, like, we saw in Gimr's presentation, this is already going to be like a 30-minute video. We saw in Gimr's presentation, Pikachu can shield pressure really, really nicely. He could kind of already do that, though. Like, he kind of already had some decent shield pressure. So, like, yeah, it's a good buff. He has really good movement and mix-ups. But I don't know what he got that he didn't already have, aside from weight bouncing T-Jolt and like the buffer down, like the dash back hold shot buffered down B. You know, like I don't know. I think people might overreact to how this is on Pikachu. In fact, I'm gonna put him over here. I don't think it's amazing on Pikachu. It's good, like it's great. But I don't think it's that good. Like, I don't think it changes his game plan all that much. Like Pikachu's already camping. I hate using the word camping because that's such a negative connotation. But Pikachu already plays neutral, pretty defensive, and hits T-Jolt button a lot. He's gonna keep doing that. Like, it doesn't change that. You know what I mean? And Pikachu's could already run at you in raw back air, right? It gives him an easier, more consistent way of doing that, which makes it a buff. But I don't think it changes the game plan. And that's why it's only a buff and not like a complete upgrade. Because the people up here in the complete upgrade, I'm putting them up here because it actually changes what they can look for in neutral. And I don't think it does that for these characters. I think it just makes their things easier, but I don't think it changes what they can do. And Luigi goes here. Actually, not even. My initial thought was here. Well, no, my initial thought was here. I said, I don't know. What I wrote down was, I don't know. It feels kind of bad, but we'll see what Elegant can do. So, yeah, I'm going to put Luigi down here. I don't think it's good. I don't think it does anything for him. He has Wave Bounce Fireball, but that's it. Because the way his flick shot works is it kind of like kills his momentum. Like, he doesn't get that much distance off of it. So, like, I don't know if it's good. In fact, just to be controversial, I'm going to put him here. I think it's bad on Luigi, but I'm super down for Elegant to prove me wrong. Ness. Ness's is really good. I don't think it changes what he gets, though, so I'm going to put him up here. I think it ups his shield pressure. I think it ups his shield pressure a lot. And I think it gives him... It doesn't really give him approaching mix-ups because the only thing you can wave bounce is up B and neutral B. You can't wave bounce side B. So, like, I don't think it changes his approaching all that much. I think it just kind of gives him another movement option, you know? So, like, it's good, and his aerials are all really good. So a Ness jumping at you is still scary, and he can do it really quickly now. But I don't think it changes what he does. I think it just upgraded the things he already did. Puff. So before I actually, yeah, Cap's before Puff. Cap is before Puff. I'm putting Cap here because it feels good. In fact, actually, I'll put him up here. It feels good. It feels like there's something that you can do with it. But I don't think I'm good enough at the character to figure out what it is. I spent like 30 minutes trying to lab this out. With him and Ganon. Together, I spent probably like an hour 15 trying to lab shit out with them. Because, like with Cap, you can flick shot Nair, because his Nair actually hits behind him, more so than Ganon's does. Ganon's, you have to kind of land on top of them. Cap can be like in front of you and still hit you with Nair. And it kicks in front of him. So, like, I think there's some interesting mix-ups that Cap has. I think it upgrades his movement. He doesn't have a wave bounce, which kind of blows. I think it... I can't tell. It feels cool. It feels like there's something there. I just can't figure it out. So, I'm putting him there. He's going to be at the bottom of that tier list, because I don't know what it changes. I can't figure it out. It looks cool, and it feels cool, but I can't figure it out. Puff. So, Puff's is either the top or the bottom of this list. And I can't figure out which one. Her airspeed is so good. And the fact that her bear turns her around makes this tech kind of amazing. Because she can flick shot towards you and just be in your face. And then all of a sudden she can either drift away and not be in your face anymore, or she could just bury your shield and then pound. Like, you know, like I can't, I think it's up here. I'll put her here. I think it's, the thing is, because she has multiple jumps, she can always, I'm going to put it up here, because the thing with characters with multiple jumps, and this is why I said if Kirby had higher airspeed it'd be broken, is they have a get out of jail free card. They can flick shot towards you, even be drifting into you, and then the second they see you react, they can just jump and change their momentum and get away from you, right? Like, there's so much mix-ups. Wow. There's so many mix-ups that can come out of a Jigglypuff flick-shotting at you. And I think Jigglypuff has a top-tier flick-shot. I really do. Again, so down to be wrong. I'm so down for Base Mage to come in. Like, if Base Mage dropped in my chat right now and said, yo, dude, it's absolutely dog shit, I'd be okay with it. Like, I'd be like, alright, Base Mage said it, it must be true. You know what I mean? Alright, Peach Daisy. We saw in the showcase what this gives them. I'm gonna make it a solid buff, because outside of the like instant float back airs, I don't think it changes that much. Now, I don't play Peach Daisy. I can barely play them on a casual level. I would not be good practice for any competitive player. Because my Peach Daisy is not that good. Like, I can play it as a casual level, but not at like a competitive level. So like, I think it's a solid buff. I think we're gonna see some interesting schmix-ups with it. But I don't think it's like goated. I think it's good, you know, but we'll see. Just to get them out of here, so I stop looking at them and getting confused. Bowser, it's down here. I want it to be good. I want Bowser's to be sick. I literally wrote down, I want it to be sick, but I think it's just a reverse mix-up with fire. That's all I think it gives him. I want it to be sick, but I don't think it is. Now, his hold shot fair shield pressure might have improved, but I'm pretty sure if you space fair correctly, it was already safe anyway. So I don't know. I want it to be good. I don't think it is. I put Icy's where here? Yeah. I said it's kind of meh. Like, it ups their movement. It kind of gives them some nice movement around the battlefield. But, I don't think it changes their game plan at all. I don't think it unlocks anything for the character. Maybe I'm wrong. But I did dabble in Icy's a little bit. I learned how to do the Twitter combos. I couldn't find anything with it. I labbed this for like 30-45 minutes. I couldn't find anything. Maybe I'm wrong. I could very well be wrong. But I couldn't really find anything. There might be some applications like during a desync combo. You might be able to like make one of them flick shot and, you know, like hit someone into it, but I don't even know if it's possible. So I don't think it does anything. And even then, like at high level play, to hit a desync combo and like do these inputs, like I don't see it doing anything. Doc, it's one of the worst in the game. It gives him nothing. His airspeed is so bad, it gives him nothing. It literally doesn't change a damn thing about Doc. The only thing it gives him is wave bounce pill, but even then it's not really good because his airspeed sucks. So, like, I literally, all I wrote down on my thoughts sheet was LOL. Like, I just said, well, move on. Like, it doesn't do anything. Pichu basically gives him all the same stuff that Pikachu gets, except he's hurting himself to do, he hurts himself to do the wave bounce T-Jolt, you know? So, like, it gives him all the same things that Pikachu does, but it's just they're like slightly worse additions. So Sheik, I was actually watching Void and listening to him talk about it. I think it's here. It ups the shield pressure that she has. And it gives her mobility to like get across the stage faster. But it doesn't really change anything about her combo game. Like, I was watching Void play and listening to him talk about it. And for all the combos he was doing, he was just doing the combos he was doing before. Like, he was only using this tech to shield pressure and to get across stage and, like, get a back air out to cover high recoveries faster. Like, that's kind of all he was using it for. So it's like, it's better movement, but I don't think it changes anything about her combo game. It makes her neutral game a little bit better. I think it might make it easier for her to get the hit to then combo you to 50. But I don't think it really changes all that much. I think it just makes her play faster. Zelda, I'm putting here because she gets a huge burst of sideways movement. But like, her hold shot is garbage because she has no air drift. She can explode sideways, but she can't pressure shield because her hold shot is so bad. Like, the hold shot where you kind of drift and then come back to, like, most characters end up about where they were standing. She doesn't. She drifts away from you because her air drift is that bad. So I don't think, I think it's kind of bad. I think it just gives her the ability to get across stage faster, and that's kind of it. Falco, I'm putting here because even Tilde, like, wasn't really utilizing it for much. I think it looks cool. I think it gives him some nice movement, but I don't think it actually changes really all that much. And Tilde kind of even agreed, like, he was using it in train, like, he was practicing it. And, of course, it's new, so we're not going to see people implement it fully into their gameplay yet. Especially playing online. The only times Tilde was using it so far was to, like, get a, kind of with Sheik, like, getting a quick back air to cover high recoveries. But he wasn't really doing much with it in neutral. Now, he can wave bounce laser, so maybe we'll put him up here. I think his laser is better than Fox's, so we'll put him here. Cynthia song. Okay. It ups his movement, but I don't know that it ups the rest of his game like at all. So it's kind of interesting. Marth Cena. I think they're up here. And yes, I think Marth gets as much out of it as Lucina. In fact, I think Marth's is actually a little bit better than Lucina's because he's a little floatier. Actually, maybe not. Am I crazy? I would have to look up the stats. Actually, I'll put them down here. So, and here's why. it looks really cool to see them do it because they do get nice burst options, and like their shield pressure is good. They can hold shot, but here's the thing: like they could already pressure your shield safely. Like if a Martha or Lucina's forward tilting your shield, you couldn't shield grab them. Like, depending on your character, you couldn't even do, like, an out-of-shield option to punish them. You had to just kind of roll away or some shit. Like, or parry it and then go for something. I don't think, like, it gives them good mobility and kind of ups their ability to play neutral. But I don't think it changes anything that they had. Like, I'm tempted to put them down here because they have good ones. Like, they have good flick shots, good hold shots. Like, they have good air mobility and a good initial dash. So, like, the tech itself is good on them. But I don't think it really changes their game plan. So, like, I don't know. It's hard to say for them. In fact, this is a trend with sorties in general. With most of the sorties, I don't think it changes their game that much because sorties could already kind of just throw out hitboxes safely, right? That's what made sorties so oppressive in this game. It still does. They're still really good. You know, like we have Koa, Spargo, you know, Leo, all these people, all these top level players, Goblin playing sorties. I think sorties were already really oppressive. But I don't think they got that big of a buff out of this tech. I think the tech makes the rest of the cast able to fight them better. Like, interestingly, you know. Young Link goes up here. In fact, it might be better than I don't know. I don't think it's better than Link's, and here the sole reason for that is bomb. Link with a bomb in hand, flick shotting at you is terrifying. Because there's like 12 options he could do. Young Link doesn't have quite all the same options, because if he throws bomb, it's going to blow up. Link still has the mix-up of, I can throw bomb and not make it blow up. Ganon, I'm kind of putting it down here. I can't tell if it like actually gives him anything. He can approach with a landing back air, and that's kind of cool, but you could kind of already do that. So I don't think it really does anything for Ganon. Most of the heavies, I don't think it really does much for. Mewtwo, this is an interesting one. So Mewtwo's flick shot, hold shot, like all of his tech is really good. He gets a big burst of speed. He moves around the stage a lot faster. And as Gimr mentioned in his video, you can get your tail behind you, so it doesn't, like, you don't just catch a stray hit. But I don't know if it actually improves his play all that much. I think, here's what I'll say. I'll put him up here because I think, and this is a trend for the entire cast, I think this tech in general makes all of the characters better at what they were good at. So, like, if your character was good at zoning, it got better at zoning. If your character was good at playing defensive, it got better at playing defensive. If your character was really good at rushing down your opponent, it got better at doing that. If your character was really good at applying shield pressure, now it's even better at doing that. You know, so like, and some of those things are better than others. In my opinion, being able to play defensively is better than being able to play offensively. I think in general in a fighting game, playing defensive is just good because you can just wait for your opponent to fuck up and then you punish them and take a stock. Mewtwo kind of has that ability now. Like, Mewtwo's always kind of been this glass cannon character where if he gets an opening, he can combo you to 60 and or kill you. But now, interestingly, with this tech, he has the ability to play way safer. I think we might see people start to play a little more defensively and a little more centered around Shadow Ball, which I don't think is bad. You could argue that it's lame, and I understand that argument. I disagree, but I get it. But I don't know. I'm debating putting it in this tier. Whoops. I'm debating putting it down here, but we'll see what happens. Roy Crom I'm putting down here. Roy, I think it's here, like here. I don't know how much it changes. It gives him really nice movement options. It makes it way easier to land with to like throw out a back air. But again, similar to Marthina, he could kind of already do these things safely. So I don't know really if it gives him anything that he didn't already have. You know, it just gives him a nice movement option. The only thing that I was able to lab out that seems cool is you can flick shot at someone holding shield, and you have the option to fast fall in front of them and like tomahawk grab to nair their shield, and then do like a hold shot fair, and you know, and just keep hitting their shield until they let go of it. Or you can cross them up with a nair and just be behind them, because his air drift is that good that you can flick shot at someone and you can choose, if you space it right, to like land in front of them or behind them to hit their shield or not. But like a lot of people in the cast can do similar things. So I don't know how much of that is unique to Roy. Roy's shield pressure was already pretty oppressive. So like there are, like, don't get me wrong, there are really cool things that Roy can do, but a lot of the cast can do very similar things. So I'm putting him here until Cola proves me wrong. There is some nice looking stuff that he can do, but he can kind of already do most of it. It just makes it easier to do the things, you know? Like, whereas like Link and Young Link, for example, it straight up unlocked new things that they can do. And I don't think that it really did that for Roy, or any of the sorties for that matter. So the one thing I will say, and I think this is important, especially for the lower tier of competitive play, is the ability to flick shot or full shot off stage so that you're facing backwards if you have a back air that kills, and now you can just jump and up B towards stage and you don't have to worry about like fucking up a B reverse input and dying. I think that's important. I do think that's something worth noting. Game & Watch, I think this is stupid. I think it's stupid. I think it's dummy good on Game & Watch because of his ability to just kind of drift in the air. Like, he can wave bounce Chef. He can approach with a back air. He can just not approach. He can drift back and forth. Like, he just has, he's so slippery. He's so slippery now. I think top players are going to be pissed if they have Meister in bracket, because if Meister keeps playing this character, I know he's been switching around sometimes. Meta Knight, I think it's up here. I don't know if it actually changes his game plan, but he has so many more approaching options now. So many more approaching options. Also, hold on. I'm going to go back to this. I'm not okay with this. I'm going to put Roy here, because I was really debating putting him up in the solid buff, but the more, because he does have a, I'm sorry, I'm going back to Roy for a second, because I looked at my initial thoughts that I wrote down, and I'm like listening to past me, and I'm like, maybe. My initial thoughts were it's really good because he has a lot of burst options, but I'm like he kind of also already had a lot of burst options, so I don't know. Well, I need to see Cola play it before I decide it's awesome. I think it's good for mix-ups. I think it gives him a lot of approaching mix-ups, but I don't know that it actually changes his game plan. Anyway, to Meta Knight. I think this gives Meta Knight a lot. It's way easier for him to approach with back air, and by the way, drag down back air into F smash kills from center stage at like 105 on the entire cast. Like not even close. Like with DI, What was it? No, it wasn't 105. It was 110. 110 with good DI, you just die from almost center stage on Battlefield and FD. So like, you put that on Smashville, you're dying at fucking 90, dude. Like, if he hits that landing back air, the drag down back air into F smash, you're just fucking dead. Not to mention, Nair hits behind him, back down air hits behind him. Only up air doesn't hit behind him, and that's kind of fine because he can just approach, like, he can also just not approach because he has multiple air jumps, right? He can flick shot towards you and see if you react and then just like jump and be like, all right, psych. Also, the ability to mix you up with his down B, the Mystic Cape or whatever the fuck it's called, that's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I think Meta Knight's game got a lot better with this tech. I think he's one of the people that utilizes it the best. I'm very tempted to put it in complete upgrade tier. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna. Because I do think it's probably better than Puffs. I think Meta Knight got way more oppressive to play against. Because now, like, even though Meta Knight has a sword, he couldn't... A lot of his stuff wasn't that safe. Now it is. Because of his, like, the hold shot. The ability to hold shot away from you in your shield. I think it's really good. Pits. Pit and Dark Pit. I'm putting it, like, middle of the road. I don't think it unlocks anything for Pit. I don't think it changes his game plan at all. I think he just has the same things he already had, but faster, you know, and more consistent, which is something. Like inputting a RAR back air was nearly a frame perfect input. Now it's not. Now you can just buffer that shit. So like, I think he's just I think it's easier to do the things that you already wanted to do, but I don't think it changes really anything. The only thing it gives him is wave bounce arrow, which is nice. So, but like all of these characters also have wave bounces, you know? ZSS. Okay. So I talked about this on stream yesterday while I was labbing things out. ZSS has a lot, but it's a lot of mix-ups. I think in a vacuum, she's like up here. I think this tech is awesome on ZSS. But here's the problem. And this is, I talked about this on stream yesterday. This is why, let me start that over because this would be a hot clip. The reason Mars says this character sucks and the reason you garbage players disagree with him is she doesn't have anything guaranteed. ZSS as a character is kind of similar to Falco and Melee in the sense that, not that they're top tier, in the sense that nothing she has is guaranteed. Everything she has is a 50-50 call out. Everything this character does is mixing you up and trying to make you guess wrong. And if you guess wrong, oh, look, you just took 60%. Haha, you're dumb. But now we have to go back to playing neutral and I have to do it all over again. That's the problem. Yeah, her flick shot tech is insane. She has some nasty mix-ups. But that's all it is. It's just a mix-up. All she's doing is trying to make you guess wrong, and then if you do, boom, you just ate 40%, and now we gotta go back to playing neutral. The only thing guaranteed she has is the spike with her down B. And that's kind of it. So, like, yeah, she has some really, really cool stuff she can do with flick shot. But she's still not a fantastic character. She's good. She's pretty good. But I wouldn't put her like top 10, top 15. Wario. I'm putting him here. Up here with Roy. These two almost get their own tier. In fact, I might split this into 2 tiers. We'll see. I think it's a really nice movement option on Wario. I think it looks awesome. And I think it upgrades his ability to play neutral decently. Keep in mind that it does that for everybody in the cast, which is important to remember. But it upgrades his ability to play neutral pretty nicely. The problem is, I don't think it actually changes what he's trying to do. I don't think it unlocks anything for him. I don't think it... In fact, you know what? I'll put him up here. Because the standard of tiers here is... This is completely changes the game for these characters. They can... In fact, I'll put Mario down here because of that. Completely changes the game for these characters. They're like just straight up better characters now. These are upgrades what they had, maybe gives them a couple more options, but overall I don't think it changes that much for the character. This is it's really hard to say. It could be awesome, it could be not. It definitely doesn't change anything the character has. It doesn't make the character... It hardly makes the character better at all. And then this is... I really can't tell. Like, I'm not even going to try. So for Wario, I think it upgrades his neutral game. I think it gives him a couple new options. But I'm not sure if it changes his overall game plan. I think it just makes him better at what he was doing. Snake, I'm putting him like here. I don't think it really does much for Snake. Like, it gives him better approaching options. There's not a lot of scenarios where you want to approach with Snake, right? Snake, you want to play like super mix-up heavy. You want to like you want to do like flick shot and then wave bounce grenade, like, you know, and for that reason, it could be a nice mix-up where every single time he flick shots at you and then wave bounces grenade. Flick shot, wave bounce grenade. Flick shot, wave bounce grenade. Flick shot. Oh, fuck, he back aired me. You know, like I think it's a nice mix-up, but I think that's really all it is. I'd be so down to be wrong, but I think that's kind of all he got. He got a really good thing. Wave bounce grenade is just straight up hard to deal with. But Ike, putting him down here with the other sorties. I think it's slightly better than theirs because of the soul factor of being able to flick shot off stage, kill someone with bear, and then double jump and like either side B or up B back to stage. I think it unlocked the ability for him to get off stage against the people that he can go off stage against, because he can't do it against everybody. You don't want to go off stage against a fucking Sora. Like, no, so I'm just gonna stand here. You can get back to stage. I'm just gonna kill you. Like, I'm not gonna go out and edge guard you. Fuck that. You know what I mean? But I don't think it changes his neutral because Ike was already jumping at you. Like, I mained Ike for the first part of my competitive like life. I'm in stage 2 now. I've evolved. But my first chapter in competitive play in this game was as an Ike main. And, you know, I don't think it really changed his game plan. Like, now, the only difference is he facing me or is he not? If he's facing me, he's going to look for Nair, Fair, or Tomahawk Grab. If he's not facing me, if he's back is to me, he's going to look for Back Air, Nair, or Tomahawk Grab. Pokemon, I will rate them differently. I will rate every single Pokemon. I'm not going to rate Pokemon Trainer as a whole. Because, I mean, it's pretty obvious, like, he goes up here. Like, because he has 3 characters and each character just got so much better. So, like, it's obvious. To me, it should be obvious that Pokemon Trainer, like, just got mega buffed. Because it's 3 fucking characters and they all got buffed. This might be a hot take. I think Squirtles is here. I've been labbing this for hours. I don't think it's really that important on Squirtle. The thing with Squirtle is he wants to be facing you. All of Squirtle's best options are in front of him. Squirtle Bear is a good mix-up. And it's decent coverage. But even with this new hold shot tech, I don't want to land with a bear. Like, if I land with a bear, it's punishable, like, no matter what. I want to land with, like, fair. I want to hit your shield with fair. I don't want to hit your shield with back air. So, I don't think it really changes Squirtle's gameplay that much. It gives him, like... It gives him a single approaching mix-up in flick shot into bear. But his flick shot is, like, okay. It's not that explosive. It's not much better than if I just dashed at you. Or, you know, just full hopped at you. So, I don't think it really changes that much for Squirtle. Like, it doesn't change anything that I want to do, right? But with Ivysaur, it's a game changer. In fact, no, it's up here. It changes what Ivysaur can do, just straight up. And the reason for this is before, I didn't really want to approach with fair. I wanted to approach with back air. It's got less lag, it's faster, it's 2 hits, so if you try to parry it, like on your shield, you could just fuck up. But now, I can hold shot fair your shield and it's just safe. Just straight up. And fair is good shield pressure. It takes a chunk off of your shield. So I can fair once. I can like full hop at you. You hold if you pick to hold shield, I'm gonna land with fair, and then I'm gonna hold shot and fair again, and then I can do like a raw back air, like an instant raw back air, or I can just grab. Like I can just like dash away grab, or do like a, you know, an instant dash like pivot grab, because Ivy's pivot grab is nice. There's a lot. And I think it upgrades Ivy's grappler ability as well, because Ivy was already kind of a grappler character, despite the fact that very few top players play it that way. Ivy's grabs are good. Like, people forget because of how good Ivy is in neutral that she has good grabs, but Ivy's up air, Ivy's up throw combos into up air until like 70%. Ivy's down throw still combos into up B, just not as high percent. It doesn't kill. Down throw is a kill throw though. Don't forget that. If you're at 120% and Ivy grabs you, you're dead. Back throw doesn't really kill, but if you're not in the kill range, damn. I'll have a lozenge in a second. If you're not in the kill range for down throw, I'm just going to back throw you and put you off stage and try to 2-frame you. And another important piece of tech is the ability to flick shot off stage, and if you're recovering high or like at stage level, I can just bear you and kill you. I don't have to sit at the stage and wait for you to come to me and try to get 2-frame you with down air anymore. I can go off stage and bear you. Ivy got a pretty solid upgrade. Not to mention that there's mix-ups with the with Bullet Seed now. For example, if I take you to Smashville or you take me to Smashville, whatever, I flick shot across stage. Let's say there was a DBZ moment where you were in the air, I'm underneath you, I tried to fair you, and we traded. You hit me down left, you're up to the right. You're coming and you're going to land on the platform, and I'm like at the ledge. I can flick shot across. Now I'm underneath you on the platform. And if I see you start to drift in, I can be reverse Bullet Seed and keep my advantage state. It's a super niche option, but it is an option. And I promise you, people forget that it exists because nobody fucking uses it. Like, her overall game plan is better, and she has more niche scenarios where she's allowed to cover more options now. There's a few niche scenarios where, like, Ivy just couldn't really do anything about it. Now she can, which is a big deal. And then Charizard. This is probably my hot take of the video. I think Charizard has one of the best flick shot techs in the game. He has a second jump, which means he can just choose to not approach. Because that's always an option. Not approaching is an option. I can flick shot towards you, and like, let's say you just decide to run away or something, I'll just double jump and be like, alright, cool, I'll take stage. Make you pick an option, make you approach. Charizard's advantage state got so much better. Like, that was the thing about Charizard, is that if he was up, he's scary. If Charizard's up, he's terrifying to play against, because I'm just gonna fucking trade. If I'm like up a stock, or like, let's say I comboed you with Ivysaur and now you're at 70% and I'm still at 0, I'm switching to Charizard and I'm gonna make you fight me, because I'll just trade with you and I will kill you, and then I don't care if I get to 70%, as long as I take the stock, I'm just going to stay Charizard and be like, all right, cool, I'm good. I'll just trade with you for the rest of this game now. Like, now, and this is a thing. No other Pokemon trainer plays like I do, so, which is kind of why I want to go to tournaments, because this is a really, like, hot-headed, like, arrogant thing for me to say, but I think I play Charizard specifically better than any other Pokemon trainer. Like, I don't think... It's very clear to me that every top Pokemon trainer doesn't think Charizard's a good character, and it pisses me off, because I think he's the best one. And that's the hot take of the video. I think Charizard is the best one. Like, and I don't think Ivy is the best one. That's the hot take. Everyone thinks Ivysaur is the best one that Pokemon Trainer has. I think Ivy's the best in neutral, but I think Ivy's, like, advantage state isn't that great. She just kind of keeps playing neutral. And then Ivy's disadvantage state sucks. Ivy's disadvantage sucks. And the reason I think Ivy is the worst character in the 3 is, and this is a super tangent, but the reason I think Ivy's the worst character in the 3 is if you get into disadvantage with Ivy, you want to switch. But Charizard's disadvantage isn't that good either. So your best option is kind of Swede swapping into Squirtle just to get yourself out. And I don't think that's a good option. That's your best option, and I don't think it's good. Whereas, like, if I'm Charizard and I get put into disadvantage, cool, I'll just swap Squirtle. I'll just swap to Squirtle, I'll get back into advantage, and then I'll get either back to even and swap to Ivy, or I'll just get into advantage and combo you and hit you off stage. Charizard's Flick Shot tech is really good. He covers a lot of ground. He covers it fast. And this is a thing that people already forgot about Charizard, is that he is the fastest of the 3. He's the biggest, but he is also the fastest. And Charizard approaching you with his back is terrifying, because back air kills the entire cast at 75%. And now he can land with it safely, because I can land with it and then hold shot. Like, if you just shield it, I'm going to hold shot fair. Or I can just hold shot, see if you pick an option, and I can just hold flamethrower so that I push you so that I'm safely away from your shield. I can, by the way, flick shot and then be reverse flamethrower if you pick an aggressive option. The ability to... Diddy. I'm going to put it here because I need to see Tweak play it. I think Diddy's shield pressure got much more oppressive, but I think his shield pressure was already pretty oppressive. So, like, I don't know that it actually changes his game plan. Like, he's good, but I don't... Like, it doesn't make his neutral any better, because I think he wants to be facing you in neutral. So I don't think it actually changes much about his game plan. Lucas, we kind of already saw in the, sorry. Damn it. It ups his gameplay a lot, just because he has so good aerial movement. We saw in the showcase what he's allowed to do, and how good the tech is on Lucas. And PK Freeze is better than, in fact, maybe I'll put Nest down here. PK Freeze is better than PK Cross. So the ability to, like, flick shot and then fake someone out with PK Freeze, could be cool. Could be kind of nutty. Also, his PK Thunder, I think, is just generally better than Ness's. I think these two got pretty buffed. But I don't know if they, like, got changed all that much. I don't know if it changes their game plan. You know what I mean? Sonic. This shit is insane on Sonic. It's ridiculous how good this is on Sonic. For the sole factor that if Sonic like flick shots at you or jumps at you, the only way to know which way he's facing is if you play the matchup a lot. Because if Sonic does an initial dash and jumps versus getting a flick shot dash, it looks almost identical. Because his initial dash is so good, it's really, really hard to tell if he dashes or if he flick shots. It's really hard to tell. They could, like, make it look like they fucked it up, but, like, do it on purpose. So, like there's a mix-up there. It's really hard to tell which way he's facing. And so, unless you have a lot of experience in the matchup, like, it's really hard to tell. It's so hard. It's so hard. I have decent experience in the matchup because an old coworker of mine main Sonic, and, like, he wasn't amazing at the game, but he was good. He wasn't, like, tournament ready, because every time we, like, casually played sets, it was 30 in a handshake, but it was a close 30. But he was solid. So, like, even I have decent Sonic experience, and it's hard for me to tell which way he's facing sometimes. Like, I lose track if the Sonic is playing fast enough. Also, just everything he has on shield is safe. Everything he has, because his dash is so fast. No matter, like, he could space shit wrong and buffer the hold shot away, and it's just safe. Not to mention, it improves every single aspect of his gameplay. His shield pressure, his approaching options, his grab follow-ups. Everything he does is so much better and faster and harder to predict because I think this character is, like, the biggest buffed in the game. Actually, maybe not. I think this character was already pretty good, and this just makes him better. There is one character in particular that I think is a larger buff, which we haven't gotten to yet. DDD, this shit doesn't matter. This shit just does not matter. It doesn't do anything. You can't even get, like, a flick shot bear unless you commit to hitting the button really early, because his bear takes so long to come out. It's like 15 frames. Yeah, he has multiple jumps, but, like, he doesn't cover enough ground with his flick shot for it to matter anyway. Like, the only thing it gives him is, like, flick shot B reverse, you know, like wave bounce neutral B, and that doesn't really matter. Olimar, it's either here or here. In fact, it might be here. Like, I don't think it gives him anything he didn't already have. A flick shot approach means that his back is facing you, and I don't think Olimar wants that, you know? And, like, yeah, he could flick shot towards you and then side B, but, like, why not just walk? Like, because I feel like his fair is generally better in neutral than his back air. I think you're only fishing for back air if you're looking for a kill. And, like, it's not like you can wave bounce anything. You can wave bounce whistle, but, like, you don't need to wave bounce whistle. You know? Like, wave bouncing away is already a defensive option. So you don't need to wave bounce whistle. I just don't think it does anything for him. Like, Lucario, I want this to be good. I wanted this to make the character absolutely broken. Like, I wanted him to be good, because I think aesthetically he's the best designed character in the game. Everything he does looks so pretty. I think it's like here. I don't think it really does much for him as a character. I think the only thing it gives him is really good defensive options for wave bounce, Aurasphere and shit. Or just, like, full shotting away and charging Aurasphere. He might be able to play faster because he covers so much distance. So, like, maybe he can play a rushdown game better. I feel like it doesn't improve his aggression all that much. I feel like it makes his defensive options better, but I don't think this character wants to play defensive. So I don't know. I want him to be a good character. I really, really want him to be a good character, but I just don't think this makes him really all that much better. Okay, for Rob, my thoughts, what I wrote down for Rob is a capital LOL. That's what I wrote down for Rob. It's the worst in the game. Young Link, it's better than the other two Links. I don't think it's as good as Sonic's. It might be. I could be wrong about how good Sonic's is. I could be overreacting about Sonic's. Young Link's is the best, though, because he's in, and you might have noticed, in general, floaties have really, really good flick shots. Like, Lucario's flick shot in a vacuum is really good, but I don't think it actually does much for the character. Young Link's is really good, and I think it unlocks a lot of potential for the character. He has more mobility in the air than the other two Links, and he also has all the same options. His Nair isn't the same as the other two Links, but his Nair is also, like, it also hits behind him instead of, like, just being a hitbox that's on top of him. So you can actually approach with the Nair. I was labbing this out yesterday. There is some really interesting combos you can get off of a landing back air. Because also, if you approach with Nair, this is something I discovered yesterday. If you approach with Nair and you get the back hit of Nair, because his Nair is he swings in front of him and then he swings behind him. If you get the back hit of Nair, it trips. Like 9 times out of 10. For some fucking reason. It trips. You know what else trips? His down tilt. So you can, like, again, 9 times out of 10. So if you approach with Nair, get the back hit, even if it doesn't trip, you can then immediately, like, his Nair has very, very little in lag. Landing lag, I mean. So you can approach with Nair, try to get the back hit, and then turn around down tilt, which is easy. All you have to do is hold the opposite direction that you're facing, and then press down on the C stick. And if you have tilt stick, it will down tilt the opposite direction. So, like, if you're facing left and then you hold right as you're landing and then hit down tilt on your C stick, you'll do a down tilt facing right. So if you get the back hit of Nair and then down tilt, you will trip them because one of those moves will trip. And then you can grab, and then you can combo, you can up throw, and then, like, back air, like Nair, or back air, up air, or back air, like, just back air, and then land and be under them. And that's a 60% combo. And that's one possibility. Not to mention, you still have the possibility of flick shot arrow. You still have the possibility of tomahawking. You also have the hold shot shield pressure of, like, dashing away and then fairing, dash away fair, dash away fair. You also have Zair, which Big Link doesn't have. In fact, no, I think Bomb still makes up for it. You have Zair, like, it's just really good. He's super oppressive. Wolf, I think, is up here. Light's reaction to seeing Wolf Fair be safe is valid. I think Wolf's really good. I think Wolf's is really, really good. He covers so much distance for some reason, like more than Charizard does. Like, Wolf gets so much distance. But if you're going to approach with a back air, you have to commit to hitting the button really early. Now, that said, you can full hop it and cover, like, a high recovery with your back air pretty quickly. And that's cool. You can also wave bounce laser. That's cool. I might be overreacting. But I think Wolf's is really, really good. Villager, I think, is, like, up here. And the reason I think Villager is this high is in a vacuum, you don't even have to hold shot to have shield pressure. If someone's holding shield, you can fully flick shot away and just fair. And because your fair has so much range on it. And it's really, really oppressive. And so you can just play this hyper defensive game where you're flick shotting away and fairing over and over. And if you're not a member of the cast that can just crouch under that, it's really hard to deal with. It's really hard to deal with. I think Villager's game leveled up a lot because he can just play super defensive. Now, I still don't think it's, like, an amazing character. Okay, I now have a lozenge in my mouth. But Mega Man, I don't know what this does for him. Because it allows him to approach with back air and his back air is big. It also allows him to have like hold shot shield pressure with fair. But outside of those two things, I don't really think it gives this character that much. Wii Fit, I think, got one of the biggest buffs in the game with this. Now, I'm going to put her up here. I don't think it's the biggest buff in the game. Because the thing with Wii Fit, she's so floaty and her air drift is so good that she explodes. Like, she can almost cover all of Battlefield with one flick shot, which is ridiculous. Previously, Wii Fit players kind of had to play a little campy and like super defensive. But now because of this, they can actually explode sideways and just be in your face. And so the ability to go back and forth between like kind of camping you and then all of a sudden exploding sideways and being in your face and comboing you to 80% if you guess wrong, that's a big deal. I think this character got mega buffed. And I think it legit changes what they can do in the game. In fact, it might be like up here because I'm not saying I think that she's better than all these other characters in the game. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I think in a vacuum, it upgrades her play better than it upgrades the rest of these characters' play. Rosa, I think hers is like here. She kind of has the same thing as Mewtwo. They both cover a lot of ground with their flick shot. They both like explode sideways, and they both have really good air drift, so they can kind of change which way they're going at will. And even though all of those things mean they can be in your face super quick, I think we're going to end up seeing the meta develop to where Rosa players use this as defensive options. And I think we're going to see this meta develop where floaties in general just play hyper defensive because they can and because it's really good now. Lil Mac fights with Rob for worst in the game. In fact, god damn it. Whoops. God damn it. These two fight for the worst in the game. Because Little Mac means he's jumping, and you don't want to be jumping on Little Mac like ever. And Rob's is just literally useless. It does literally nothing. Greninja's one that I can't tell. I'm putting Greninja's like here. I can't find through labbing. In fact, I'm going to put Greninja's like here. Labbing this out, I can't find a single practical use for Greninja's flick shot. He covers some good distance, but similar to all the Spaceys, the back air is really slow, so you have to commit to hitting a button early. Not the back air. The back air comes out decently fast, but it's a multi-hit. The Nair, which is his bread and butter combo tool, comes out really slow. So if you're gonna end up approaching with Nair, you have to commit to hitting the button early, and that's not great. Like, the whole reason this tech is good is it keeps your options open. So if you have to commit to hitting your buttons early, it kind of doesn't... It's not great. I'm skipping the Miis. I didn't do it. Palutena. Character who, when the game came out, was considered like a top 5 character. And then people figured out the matchup and she's kind of dropped off and people were like, yeah, she's like top 20 at best. I think she has the best one in the game. I think in a vacuum, her flick shot is the single best flick shot in the game. Actually, no. I don't think that. There's one more that we haven't gotten to yet. Actually, no. There's 3 more that are better than hers in a vacuum. But there's one that I think makes a tier jump bigger. I think because of this tech, Palu goes back to being a top 5 character. And I say that for two reasons. 2 words. 1 reason. Flick shot bear. How do you deal with it? You can't trade. You can't hit it. And if you shield it, she's just going to keep hitting your shield. I'm not even sure that half the cast has a way to answer it if you parry it. It's just so good. It's such a good option. Not to mention, if you're on a platform and she flick shots at you, she can nair or up air. She explodes sideways. Like, she gets more distance than ZSS, I think, or about the same distance, and as fast. Okay, Pac-Man. It's like up here. His neutral game got a lot better. And I think you just straight up can't hold shield against him now, because everything he has is safe. But I don't know if it changes his overall gameplay. It gives him a few more options in neutral, but I don't know that it changes what he's going to be doing. You know what I mean? He did overall get way better as a character, though. Robin. I'll read to you what I wrote down for Robin. I think Robin has some nice mix-ups with wave bouncing and shit, and overall has better shield pressure / approaching options, but it's still Robin, and I still think it's top half at best. So, like, overall, I think he's up here. They're up here. Overall, I think Robin, like, got a nice buff with this tech. But I don't think it's insane. And I don't think it really changes the game plan. It just makes it harder to play against them. You know what I mean? Shulk, I'm putting down here, like, the movement, it increases their movement, or his movement, and gives him more options. But I don't think it gives him more options than he already had. It's also different in each Monado art. So, like, in Shield, the flick shot is irrelevant. It's one of the worst in the game. In Speed, it actually isn't that good either. It's really good in jump art, and it's weirdly good in Buster art. Like, I don't know what changes in his stats when he's in Buster, but it's weirdly good in Buster. But in Smash, Shield, and Speed, it's like kind of meh. Like, I was expecting it to be super oppressive in Speed, and I was expecting him to cover like half the stage. He doesn't. It's Jump that he does that, because Jump increases his airspeed, and airspeed is like the key stat that makes this really good. Bowser Jr. I initially said, like, basically, I think there's some nasty stuff here, but I'm not going to spend 10 hours just on this character trying to lab it out. The hold shot buffer down B tech, I think, is really important for this character. Being able to safely just explode away from your opponent and get the Mecha Koopa out, I think, is a big deal. Being able to wave bounce cannon, I think, might actually be a big deal. It might make cannon not one of the worst neutral Bs in the game. And being able to do a full shot buffered side B is also pretty interesting, because you can just explode with that. But I don't know if it actually makes him a good character. So I'm putting him like here with Zelda. Like around here. Like, I think there's some interesting stuff you can do, but I don't know if it actually makes you better. Duck Hunt's hard to tell. Like, it makes his campy play a lot better. It makes his defensive options way better. But I don't know if it actually changes his character. He's like in here somewhere. He's like bottom of this tier, top of this tier, I think. His defensive play got better. His ability to hit your shield safely is better, but like Duck Hunts aren't really shield pressuring you all that much. There's not that many like top level Duck Hunt players because the character wasn't great. T played it for a while and then he dropped it. So like, Ryu Ken, I don't think it. Well, okay, I shouldn't say I don't think it changes anything. It gives them the ability to back air, and that's important. The ability to approach with a back air on a not frame perfect input is important, but it doesn't really give them anything outside of that. Okay, Cloud is next. He's probably behind my camera, so you probably don't see him. Cloud is next. I think Cloud is the single most buffed character in this game with this tech. This is the one. This is the one. I think he is the single most buffed character in the game with this tech. It is insane how good it is on Cloud. Spargo is about to become the best player in the world. And that's not just because he was already on track. Cloud is ridiculous with this tech. Not only can he explode all the way across the stage. Back air was already oppressive and now it's easier to do. Nair was already oppressive because it hits behind him and under him. He can just tomahawk grab you. He can wave bounce blade beam. And if you're holding shield, he can just let the side B rip and get some shield damage on you. And if he spaces it properly, it's unpunishable. Also, it gets better when he's in limit because his air drift gets higher. None of that was me talking about Limit Cloud. Limit Cloud is ridiculous with this tech. It's actually stupid how good he is. I am terrified for top players because I think Spargo is about to go on a tear. I think Spargo is going to showcase like why he is the best player in the world. I'm terrified for top players. Like, good luck, Leo. This shit's insane. It's insane. I think Leo has one chance, and I'll get to that in a little bit. I think it's ridiculous how good this is on Cloud. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. Corrin, another character I think that got really significantly buffed. I don't know if it changes the neutral for Corrin all that much, but it is really, really good on Corrin. Corrin can now flick shot towards you, and the flick shot itself is just good. They get a decent burst of speed, they cover a decent bit of ground. Like, the flick shot itself is good. And they can back air. And Corrin's back air is stupid good. So what I think it's like one of the best back airs in the game. I haven't watched ESAM's like every move tier list videos because like, come on, man. Inkling feels really nice. I don't know where to put him though. In my notes I said it feels as nice as it does on Wolf and Palutena. I think it's a pretty big buff. I think it's like here. I think it's on the same level as ZSS. I think there's some really nice, interesting mix-ups you can do with Bomb and Neutral B. I think Inkling's Neutral B is also underrated because it just straight up buffs the character every time you get hit by it. Also, Inkling's move it in general, I feel like just feels nice. And so, another movement tool, yes, please. Like, I think it's just good. And I think it makes the character better. I think it gives her it gives them, pardon me, a lot of options in neutral. And I think it might make people think this character's high tier again. Alright. Ridley is next. I've been debating this one in my head since I started lapping this out. So Ridley, he doesn't get much ground from it. He doesn't explode sideways. But he has multiple jumps. So he, by default, his is a little bit better than the rest of the cast that doesn't have multiple jumps. Because jumping and just not approaching is always an option. You can wave bounce your neutral B, which is cool. I think Ridley's goes like here. It's like in here somewhere. Like, it gives him the ability to cross up shields a lot more because his back air is really good. He kind of has the Spaceys problem where his back air has a few too many frames startup. So if you're going to back air, you have to hit the button kind of early. But his Nair starts under him, So you can cross people up with Nair. Plup thought it would be useless. Yeah, I don't think it changes anything. Like, he covers some decent ground, but I don't think it really changes that much. I think the best thing about it is wave bouncing your neutral B, just as a mix-up. But I don't think it, like, gives him anything. Belmonts. I'm gonna put Richter up here because I like Richter more. I don't think it gives them anything. I don't think it gives Belmonts a damn thing. It's literally just another movement option for them. Because, like, approaching Bear is literally the same thing as approaching Fair. It's just active for one more frame. And if you're going to flick shot wave bounce neutral B, that's super reactable, so it doesn't really make a difference. Like, I don't think it really gives this character anything. Okay. K. Rool. K. Rool's is pretty bad. It's like down here. I think it's worse than Bowser's. Maybe better than Doc and DDD. It's pretty bad. It doesn't do anything. Isabelle. Isabelle honestly got some decent buffs, same as Villager, because you have so much range on your forward air and back air. You can just flick shot away and forward air, and it's kind of hard to deal with. And it gives her some more mix-up options in neutral game. Overall, she's still a subpar character. I don't think it changes where she ends up on the meta tier list. But in a vacuum, the tech is good on her. Like, she has some stuff. And if you are an Isabelle player, I think you need to know this tech to, like, play the character effectively, but I don't think it actually makes her a good character. Alright, Incineroar. This is another character that I think got pretty significantly buffed with this tech. Incineroar, I think, is, like, up here. It's, like, as good as it is on Pac-Man and Corrin, and, in fact, Pac-Man is probably better than Corrin. Maybe better than Pika, actually. Probably not. But I think Incineroar's is up here. I don't think it changes what he can do. But the fact that he can kind of... It's a really big burst option. Now, he doesn't have much out of it. Like, if he flick shots at you, there's not a whole lot he can do. It's really just back air. But his back air is really good. His back air is really, really good. And so I think we're going to see it used as a movement mix-up a lot. But if I'm keeping myself to my tier list, it goes here. Because it looks really cool and he does cover a lot of ground, but I don't know that it changes anything. So I have to stick to my reasoning and put him down here. I don't think it changes his game, even though I do think it's good. Plant is next. And I don't think it really does anything for Piranha Plant. Like, it's down here with Kirby, I think. Or, like, Ganon. Like, I don't think it does anything. It looks nice, but he doesn't cover that much ground. It doesn't really give him any mix-ups. It doesn't give him better approaching options that he already had. So he's just, like, it's kind of whatever. Joker. Joker's is, like, up here with Pika. There is some nutty shit you can do with it, but I don't think it changes your game plan. There is one really, really interesting mix-up, and I don't know how you deal with it. And this is what I was alluding to earlier. I think the only way MKLeo has a chance at beating Spargo is Spargo just goes full Cloud main. Actually, there's another way. I think his only way is playing Joker and learning and just, like, using this mix-up to his advantage. And the mix-up is flick shot forward, wave bounce gun, and then pick a movement out of gun and to, like, dodge. Because that's like 3 mix-ups in a row, right? The flick shot is your initial input, right? The fact that you wave bounce gun is your first mix-up. And then picking a direction is another mix-up. And the direction you pick in itself is a mix-up as well. And so there's some really interesting stuff you can do, I think, with Joker. Not to mention his bear, his nair, and his down air are all really good approaching options. Also, his shield pressure gets increased. Also, his flick shot with Arsene is even better. Like, similar to Cloud, it just gets better when you get your second phase. Hero, I'm putting, like, down here. And the reason for this is Hero's flick shot is, like, okay. But the character, I feel like, wants to play kind of passive, kind of campy. And I don't think his flick shot helps him do that. So he's, like, the one character in the game where I don't think it made him better at the things he was already good at. Like, everybody else in the game, the flick shot tech in general just amplified what they were already good at. This is the one character I don't think that happened with. Banjo. There's some interesting stuff with Banjo. I think there might be some shenanigans with Bomb. And it might increase his ability to, like, bait and punish. So I think I put him, like, here. I don't think it really changes how he's going to play neutral, but I think it gives him some mix-ups, and which is important. I think having a bigger bag of tricks on a kind of trappy character is a big deal. I think that's a big deal. A character who, like, revolves around trapping and, like, winning 50-50s, having a bigger bag of tricks than your opponent, I think is a big deal. That's why I think ZSS gets so buffed, because she relies on having a bigger bag of tricks and, like, calling you out and winning 50-50s. Byleth. I think it's going to be a fucking problem. I think this is going to be a problem. It's not as good as Cloud's. It's not even as good as Joker's. It's about as good as Mario and Wolf. Actually, Wolf's is probably better. Wolf's is probably here. But Byleth's flick shot is dummy good for no reason. It's for no reason. The ability to, like, Leo, right? He nairs. Like, that's what Leo does, right? The ability to land with nair and then not get punished because you can just hold shot away and nair again. You mean any kind of new tech on the best player in the world's character? Yeah, it'll be a problem. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a problem. Also, just the simple mix-up of flick-shotting toward your opponent and then wave-bouncing arrow. He's going to catch so many people. And then, similar to Joker, you can wave-bounce arrow and then just not shoot it, which was already a good mix-up of, like, am I going to shoot it or am I not going to shoot it? Like, that was already a good mix-up, and now the fact that you can jump at someone and then wave-bounce it and then go into that mix-up, it's a big deal. Also, the forward air and back air pressure that this character has is ridiculous now. It's so much worse. It's going to be a problem. Terry, similar to the Shotos, he can back air now, but, like, that's kind of it. Min, I think this actually changes nothing about the character. I think it legit doesn't matter. Just straight up. I don't think it matters at all on Min. I don't think you need to know how to use this tech at all to play this character at top level play. Just straight up. Steve. It's really interesting on Steve. And it's in a vacuum, it's good. Like, it's like up here. But I don't know that it unlocks anything new for him. Like, I don't think it really changes the game plan. Like, his flick shot in a vacuum is good. But I don't think it really changes his game. Like, he's going to keep doing the same thing he's already been doing, which is play kind of campy until he farms up his iron and shit. Then he's going to combo you to 80, and then he's going to fish for a killing hit. He's going to do all the same stuff. He's just going to move around a little bit faster. So, like, I don't think it changes anything. Sephi, when I started labbing this out, I was like, man, Sephi's is kind of bad. Like, you can't really do much with your back facing the opponent because your short hop is so low. Until I realized you actually can get a back air out. I initially was like, I can't tell how good it is on Sephiroth. You do get some nice distance. You get better distance when you're one wing. But I was like, I think you have to full hop to get like any usefulness out of it, until I realized that I was just bad, and you can indeed get a back air out. Hey, are you okay? What? Had to take a dog break. Okay. It is the similar problem to the spacies where you have to commit to hitting your button early. However, it doesn't matter because your back air covers half the fucking stage. So I think he goes up here. I think it's pretty nice on Sephiroth. Not to mention, you don't have to back air. You can flick shot nair. You can just not pick an option. When you have one wing, you have an extra jump, which gives you more options. I think it's pretty nice. Let me read to you guys what I wrote down for Pyramithra. Okay, I wrote down, this shit is insane on them. Both of them. What the fuck? That's all I wrote. Theirs is up here. Both of them. Both of them. It's stupid on both of them. It's not like Mithra's is insane and Pyra's is like less good. No, in fact, I think Pyra's is actually slightly better. For like some stupid reason. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. They're so good. And this is the other reason that I said Spargo is now the best player in the world. Because now his secondary is Pythra. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I think every top player is just going to play Pythra. I want to go back into competing. I want to go to tournaments again because I haven't been to one in a fucking long ass time. But I don't want to play 7 different Pyramithras. And that's how bracket's going to be. Everybody's going to be playing Pythra. I don't know, man. So Kazuya Nishima. It's interesting because on the other Shotos, it doesn't kill their momentum like completely, but on Kazuya it does. So his backer is hella strong, but you kind of like, when you flick shot with Kazuya, you kind of like do your dash and then stop moving. Almost like Rob. Not quite as bad as Rob. I literally wrote down, Riddles will probably find a way to optimize this, but like I don't think it's good because you get back air, but that's kind of, you get access to a move that you didn't really have before. But otherwise, I don't know. And then with Sora, I'm putting him like in the middle of the road because the flick shot is fine on him. Like, it's not great. It's not like the best in the game. It's not the worst in the game. But I don't think it actually changes anything about his neutral game because his movement was already so weird and unique that, like, I don't think it gives him anything he didn't already have. Let me hide my camera here and I'll recap this. So, here we are, the final tier list for, you know, my buster ass goes to locals in places like top 3 and then goes to a major and barely makes it out of pools. You know, these are my initial thoughts after spending several hours, like 10 to 20 hours labbing this on every single character. Not 10 to 20 hours on every character. That would be absurd. You know, like 30 minutes plus on every character, just about. Except for the ones down here because, like, you know. But yeah, these are my initial thoughts on who I think best utilizes this new Gimr tech and who I think doesn't. This top tier are not only the characters that I think utilize it really well, but the characters that I think have new potential unlocked. Characters that I think using this tech have their neutral game and their gameplay in general has completely evolved because of this tech. That's this top tier. The second tier are characters who really like this tech and it's good on them and it buffs several aspects of their gameplay, but it doesn't necessarily change their gameplay or unlock new potential for their gameplay. And then this tier are the characters that I think have good flick shots and have good options out of a flick shot or a hold shot or a full shot. But I'm not really certain if it actually changes their gameplay at all, other than just giving them a couple new neutral options, which everybody in the cast has. And then this tier are the characters that I'm fairly certain it doesn't really do anything for. Some of these characters do have good flick shots, hold shots, etc., but I think it doesn't actually upgrade their play because the options they have out of those things are options that they already kind of had access to. These are the characters that it just is stupid to do on. You should never click it. And these are the characters that I'm kind of undecided on. It feels like it could be good, it could be bad, or the characters that I just didn't touch, which are, you know, these 4. I didn't touch these at all. But then these 4 are characters that I feel like it could be really good on, but I'm just not good enough at the character to unlock the potential, and so I want to see what the pros can do with it. That's our tier list. Holy shit, I've been recording for 2.5 hours. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm an idiot. I never clicked the transition button, so when I was trying to record my outro for this video, I never brought my webcam back. So let me redo that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks YouTube. I appreciate you guys for checking me out. Go check out my my Twitch channel. If you like this, you'll like my Twitch. It's the same as it is here, Real Patch Thomas. Twitch.tv/RealPatchThomas. And until next time, I'm much more active on Twitch, by the way, just so you know. Until next time, thanks for hanging out, guys. You are all wonderful people. Do wonderful things. Have a great day.